Welcome back to the Jetpack remake. Over the break, I took the opportunity to spend some more time with Jetpack. I didn't record it as live like I normally do, instead I sat down with a cup of coffee and started coding. I'm doing the voiceover now to add some colour to the videos and I hope it helps. In this video I'm going to set up the game scene to reload itself to progress through the levels. I'm going to use the level loader class from video 13, that's the previous video to this one. I also fix a couple of bugs, one of which I think I introduced recently to do with layering. And then finally I get around to fixing that fuel drop bug. You know, the one where you can pick up drop fuel? Well, you can't do that in the original game, so you shouldn't be able to do that in this one. Let's fire up the game scene and go to the game manager script. We need to keep a reference to the game state in here. This is going to get loaded from the player prefs that we set up in the previous video. I realise at this point as well that game state is a struct and can't be null, so I decide to add a new field to the struct to let me know if it's valid or invalid, so that requires another enum to be set up. This is kind of similar to how things like rectangle's none property works. It's just a field that lets us know the validity of the data. When we load the state in, I just want to set the type to the valid, the type property to valid, so that we know that the data is valid. Our initial game state is set to invalid, and that's how we know the difference between the two. Here I'm making sure that score is set correctly in the score manager. I make a mistake here that I don't notice. I should have set the score property and not the hidden underscore field. I'm not sure I actually catch it, so this might actually be a later video that I fix this one in. The alien manager needs to know the current wave. This too is contained in the game state. Wave is a number from 0 to 15 inclusive, but there's only 8 alien types, so the wave number is modded with 8 to clamp it in the range 0 to 7. I realise now that I need to make a change to the level loader. It's still loading the wrong scene. It needs to be changed to load the game scene when the player progresses to the next level. I take the game for a spin but realise, where is everything? No rocket ship, no aliens, nothing. Something went wrong with the layers and I'm not sure what caused it, but it's a fairly easy fix. I just go into the prefabs and set the layer to be further out from the screen background. I select all the enemies and set the order in layer to 10. And do the same thing for the rocket parts. Everything's back. The rocket manager also needs to know the state of the game. If it's 0 when we mod the wave number with 4, the rocket starts in pieces. Otherwise, it's on the ground waiting to be fueled. Once the rocket reaches the top, the game needs to be told to progress to the next level. The current level number +1 is passed the level loader, as well as the current game state, you know, the high score, the score, the lives, etc. Much like the score, I update the high score when the score overtakes it. I use the same observer pattern as before, but like the score earlier, I make the initial mistake and set the private underscore field rather than the property. This causes the high score to go out of sync, as you'll see in the screen here. It's a quick fix, just use the property in future slowing. And finally for this video, I fixed the fuel drop bug. In the original game, when you drop the fuel canister over the rocket, you can't pick it up again. In this game, you can, up until now. The reason is because the fuel cell doesn't have a way to let the pickup code know that it's dropping. So I try a couple of things. I disable the collision boxes, I change the name of the object when it drops, and all this kind of stuff. It breaks a whole bunch of stuff. So what it ends up boiling down to is just creating a field that can be read by the collision code, it's a boolean, to determine if the fuel can be picked up or not. And I set it to false if it's dropping. And that's it. That's the fix. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. New videos come out on Thursdays. Take care and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.